Hello, 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 and welcome to another episode of Taekwondo Live. Not on a Saturday, but on a Tuesday. My name is Petra Verbruggen, and I basically host the show, but I cannot do it all by myself. I have a lot of people that are live and direct here in the chat, which is really, really cool. And we are all a community of producers, so we are trying to stick around together and make it a really cool experience for each and everybody. So it's indeed on a Tuesday and not on a Sunday. And why is that the case? Well, because on a Sunday I had a church service, on a Saturday, because I had a church service on Saturday evening, and I needed to produce that for local TV and Facebook, and I could not be there. And there's also some other stuff to talk about on that church service, and that's what we're going to talk about in today's show. But before I do that, let's check who is ready online, or who was online. I saw that Jordan Jordan is over on Facebook. There you go. Welcome, Jordan. Welcome, and thank you so much for watching. Over on YouTube again, I see Eric, and Eric says, Happy Easter. Also, Vila's in the house, all the way from Finland, of course, and looking at other people that are alive. Of course, MT was there as well. Of course, he was the first one to comment, as he always does, which is fantastic. I also see that the cable studio is also in the house. Welcome, really appreciate you for being here from the back corner. I love your Danglish, which I love. So let me see who I have more. Yeah, so I was watching your website, but on my phone it states something with Apache not installed or something. So maybe I mistook the correct website. Sorry for that. Maybe I'm wrong. Jordan is now also over on YouTube. Welcome. Good week was a busy week. Yeah, it was definitely a big week. We're going to talk about it. And Raoul is also in the house. We really appreciate you for taking the time and effort on your Tuesday instead of the Saturday. Okay, so Tech on Live is every Saturday at 7 p.m. Central European Time. However, that's last Saturday. Could not be the case because at 7:15 there was a church service, and it's indeed the good week. So I had a production on Thursday evening, on Saturday evening, and on Sunday morning. So it was quite a challenge, and I actually did it all by myself, which is something that I rather not do, but due to unforeseen circumstances, my partner in crime could not make it the last 1.5 months. Nothing wrong with him with health. Don't worry about it. And I'm sure that he will be coming back, but not at short notice. So that's a bit of a bummer, right? But what is also a bit of a interesting news is that even though we've done this for 3 years in a row, so believe it or not, 3 years, every single weekend, every single church service that needed to be broadcasted on local television and on Facebook, we did, which meant that in 3 years' time, we did a whopping 177 episodes, and we did that with 2 people. So that was really interesting, and it was actually really run and gun from the get-go. So I want to use this episode of TechCon to wrap it a little bit up. What do I mean by that is that actually last Sunday was the last episode that we did with the setup of the gear of the last couple of years. That was by design. We knew that this day would be coming as of November last year, but it took always a little bit longer than expected. But I think it's good because now we're already saying it was with 2 people. One was gone, which meant that if I would be sick or something, it would not be maintainable, sustainable. So something needed to give, something needed to happen, and so the church that we have here in Venray, they decided to build a new switcher setup, so to speak, and they actually hired a company that is dedicated to make that happen. And we're going to talk about what they did later on this episode of Techano. But if you like this kind of content, don't forget we will be coming back. We're also definitely going to talk about church services in the future as well, but it might take some time before that is. We will have a lot of other stuff that we can talk about. So don't worry about it. We have actually, to be honest, I did a quick reference on my calendar, and I have enough topics for the full year this year with of course the break of the summer, the 3 weeks in the summer have been distracted from it. I say that wrong, but you know what I mean. And I also have still like 4 or 5 episodes that I still need to figure out. But actually, until the last week of September, I have content for the whole year. So don't worry about it. So if you like this kind of content, subscribe to this channel, and also don't forget to hit the bell icon for future content. And if you're over on Facebook, then don't forget to like the page, but also check out YouTube, because YouTube is way more invested than Facebook is. All right, before I continue and really start to delve in, maybe some quick checks. Empty says, maybe you forget the in front of. I got also the Apache message for the first try. That's exactly what happened. 100%, that's exactly what happened. 177. Very impressive. Say, like we say, when you know how the rabbit runs. Free translate from German. Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I know. Yeah, it's quite a challenge, and it was really cool. And the way it actually went was very organic. So what happened, of course, was the COVID happened, and the first 2 weeks, like everywhere in the world, they said, we're gonna take it slow for 2 weeks, and then we'll see after that. The first week went very fast. The second week was also starting, and then the real lockdowns happened. And that was the moment that I said, hey, we need to do something. So I contacted our deacon here in the city, and we decided on starting that immediately afterwards. And we've not stopped ever since, which was really, really good. Anyway, so what we're going to do today is that I'm going to show you the setup that we had up till last Sunday. I'm gonna talk you through everything, what we did. I actually did that up front one time earlier, but I think it's good for the historic value of this episode to be concise. Then I will show you very briefly what the new setup will look like, and I will also talk about one thing that I still not done yet, which we still need to do. And as a matter of fact, it will be delivered tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. But that will be a separate show anyway, so you will get the full picture in like 2 shows. So that's great, I think. All right, so without further ado, so let's talk a little bit about the setup. So here in Venray, we have a big church, which is the main church of the area, and that's also where I talked to those people and said, hey, can I help you? And we decided to help. At first, we did it just with one camera and a live view, and that was basically it. That was the first week, but the second week it was already a little bit more than that. And as of the third week, we actually had roughly the same setup moving forward for 3 years, apart from the last 1.5 months, where my partner in crime, as I call him, Eric, needed to do something else, could not be part of this anymore, and because of that, I actually had a double duty. I not only needed to switch the cameras, but I also needed to add the graphics, and also made sure to make sure that it's streamed to Facebook, but also streamed to the local television station. So that meant that I needed to add a laptop to the mix, and also used my phone. Where's my phone? Oh, yeah, right there. But with my phone, with TeamViewer to connect to a computer in my studio, but also the computer at the station, the radio station, radio TV station, to make sure that everything was connected. So what I'm going to show you now is that I'm going to show you the ambiance, the way it looks like, and I made a walkthrough video last Sunday morning. I did have a little bit more time to really show you what was happening, and here we go. So I'm now walking to the center of the church, and as you can see on the right hand side, you see 2 cameras, and on the right hand side, just barely out of frame, there was a microphone, and there's another microphone at the loudspeaker right there on the pillar. And these are 2 Sony cameras. These are PXW X70s, really nice workhorses. One of them is by the TV station, and one is my own. And as you can see, and I will stop this video a little bit, both of them have a XLR input. The right hand side was the main XLR, which was connected to the microphone on the left hand side of the screen. That microphone was aimed towards a loudspeaker, and that is the way that we could get well, everything that happened via the microphones in a very clear and concise manner. We did, however, do this on purpose. We wanted to have a little bit of a how to say that, a bit of an ambiance from the church. If you do not do that, it's getting a little bit more dry. We didn't want that. We wanted to have that echoey feeling that you also have when you're in the church. So that's why we did that. And on the left hand side, there is a second microphone which is standing 2 pillars back, and that is more aimed towards the orchestra that is on the back of the room, as you can see right there. So let's go back, and so we are using the LiveView LU300 connected to my studio, my Tech studio, and that is my trustworthy HP Omen laptop, which I'm using with vMix. Now moving back again to the site that I'm actually working on. Here you see the original ATEM Mini. With the Stream Deck next to it, right there. So, of course, the Stream Deck is for the overlays, and this is basically what people in Venray have seen all the time. And yeah, it was really cool. Nevertheless, so that was how it looked like right there. And I was really, it has been a very, very cool setup. And I also have some close-up pictures of all of the components, so I will show those as well right now. So this is one, for example, of course, is the ATEM Mini, just the original one. No streaming needed. It was just a matter of switching 2 cameras because we wanted, you know, the thing is, let me go back. So the thing is that I could have easily done everything remotely. But then what's the fun of that? It's always more fun to be together with somebody else, to have some pleasure, to make jokes, to, you know, make fun of each other. It gets a bond going, right? So that's the reason why we were with 2, but it also meant that I needed to, you know, even though I couldn't do it myself, I actually asked the cameraman to say, okay, you are the person that's also switching. I will just focus on the end product and also the graphics. Just go ahead and do your thing. It's going to be awesome. And it was, it took about a month for him to really understand what needed to be done. But in the end, honestly, he's better than I am at the camera work these days. So, but that's what you get with 170, well, in this case, 167 episodes. So, yeah, it's really important. On the right-hand side, you see the Stream Deck, and this Stream Deck is actually a mirror of the Stream Deck that I have had in my studio for the, yeah, apart from the last 1.5 months in my studio. It's exactly the same from left to right. We start with the start of the show. We have a countdown timer. Then we have got a call to action where we showed the bank account number so that the people could donate. Then we had another call to action later in the show. Church service where it was not only the bank account number but also a QR code that will make it very easy to donate. Of course, the logo, and also at the very end the who did what, and we started with camera, Eric, production, Petra, blah blah blah. But in the end, we decided to remove it fully and just say, "Hey, this is brought to you by the church and by some other people. And if you want to be a volunteer, please go ahead and call this number so that we can, you know, try to make it a bit bigger place." by the way, I forgot this. This is another shot. This gives you a very good indication of how everything looks like. So again, these two, the ATEM and the Stream Deck. On the right hand side, you see the vMix computer. And the two cameras and a confidence monitor, and that confidence monitor is extremely important, and I actually have a close-up of that one. So here you go. So this is a extremely important monitor because it will allow you to see if your audio is getting through, and you see what you're doing at all times. So I always looked at this monitor to make sure that whatever I'm switching on those two cameras is really the one that I'm using. And the reason why that's so important is that because you have two cameras, you're actually adjusting both of them all of the time, and sometimes you tend to lose track of what you're doing. So that's the reason why that confidence monitor is so amazingly important, because of that. Let me see if I have two more pictures, and then I'm going to go into the comments. So let's talk about this one right here. This is the this is by my HP Omen laptop, again with vMix, just with one input, the Blackmagic ATEM via USB, which was really going very well. No issues there whatsoever, and all of the overlays were here. Audio was tracked here as well. I did occasionally use the ATEM software as well. However, typically I didn't need to do that because I could hear on the monitor, which also had a built-in headphone jack. I could hear what was going out to the live view because as you could see on this picture right here, there is a HDMI going into the monitor and an HDMI going out, and the HDMI that's going out, the top one would go to the live view, which I don't have a picture of, but that is the way that we did it. Just for the sake of it, this is what we saw, and this is also, of course, one of the last times that we will see that via that screen, because we have a different screen moving forward. So that was the old setup, but that was not all of it. No, that was not all of it. By the way, this was me last Sunday. As you can see, this is gives a little bit of an indication on how everything looked like with me as a part of the picture. But actually, what was not there, but was still vitally important, was this. So as you can see on the left hand side, we have the Live View Central that is actually making sure that the live view signal from the LU300 in the church is getting into my computer, which is on the table. That is also, by the way, the same computer that I'm running Taekwondo on at the moment. And above that, you see a MacBook Air. And that's where I'm currently looking at the comments so that I can see what your guys are talking about. But that was the computer at the studio, the local TV station. So in the end, I needed 4 computers to get that going. 4 or 5? Let me check. So one is the laptop that is in the church. Then we've got the live view server, which is here, which is right there, that orange thing. The live view server is there. Then I've got the laptop. Then I've got another laptop, and I've got the computer that's on. And so 5 computers, and of course the phone, which I totally forgot. So yeah, basically 6. Crazy if you think about it, but it is the way it is. It's all about the integration. So the production itself can be done with one computer, but because of all of those steps in between, you needed more than one. Let me see. Comments were pouring in. So indeed, reverb of the church hall is critical, I should say. Yes, it does add to the ambiance of the service, and of course, it's also helping so that you can hear that people are actually singing or paying a tribute to God or to Jesus. So that is really important right there. Yeah. So it's definitely a big. Christopher says 5. Yeah, 5. But in all fairness, 5 is with a laptop. It's with 1 or 2 laptops that are only for monitoring purposes. So it's basically 3. Anyway, there are 2 questions coming in, so let's check that. So first one is from Eric. So for each Sunday service, 177, yes, you would carry in AV cables, cams, everything. Then at the end of the carry out and bring it all back to home studio. Yes. So basically, that's definitely the case. So the combination was actually a combination of 2. So one of the cameras and one of the tripods was for the local station. So we had to pick those 2 up. Then the rest will be from my taekwondo gear. Then we could combine it, and then we brought it to the church. The build-up was about a half an hour. We could have done it in 25 minutes. So 25 minutes, but let's say half an hour to put it safe. Then we did the church service, which would take roughly an hour, 1 hour and 15 minutes ish. And then also just put everything back in bags and put it back into the car. Don't forget to drink coffee with the deacon and with all of the acolytes. Acolytes? Is that good English? I don't know, but you know what I mean, I hope. And just have fun and just talk a little bit and then drive home. And basically, then was that was that. Honestly, the last 1.5 weeks, I didn't say that. It's actually, I had another partner in crime, a very important one, which was my dad. Yes. He did not really work on the production itself, but he had a very vitally important job to do. That is cat. He needed to watch over the cat sitting, to make sure that he, especially Scooter, the young one, would not break the studio, because of course everything here was switched on and I was not here, I was there. So if something happened here, I was basically out of luck. So that was the reason why my dad's help here was vitally important, even though he was not part of the church service by itself. So very special thanks to you, Dad. Indeed, my dad, Pete. Indeed, absolutely. Let me check. Raul says, how can you connect the TC Clarity M to that setup? Well, so the thing is that we didn't really do it at the station. Let me rephrase that. We didn't do that at the church service, even though we could have done it in the church. Look at an hindsight, because you have more connections to it. You can actually add, for example, a headphone jack out and then use that. Though that would be an issue, because then you need to have like a Y cable to hear it yourself, and on top of that, also bring it to the Clarity M. But what we did was that we actually put it on in my studio, and as you really pay attention to this picture, it is switched off at the moment, unfortunately, but below my microphone you see the Clarity M, and definitely one of the things that we definitely use. As a matter of fact, I'm actually using it right as we speak, and I know that I'm a little bit hot, so I will be doing a little bit less. Okay. So that was the old setup. And so that was until last Sunday, the way forward. And of course, I don't have to tell you, but I'm just going to say it anyway, is that at the moment I am actually changing the backpacks and the equipment so that I can reuse it for other stuff. So, for example, the ATEM Mini is going to go to another place. Maybe it's going to be a integral part of this show moving forward. The cables will go to the warehouse. I'm calling it a warehouse these days, the Tech on the warehouse. It's not that big, but at least I have a different location where I put the lesser expensive equipment so that I have more space here. So that's so storage, let's call it storage, but I like Tech on the warehouse a little bit more. So I will be moving those to that storage unit. And the camera will, I don't know what I'm going to do with the camera. I definitely will use it. I will not sell it or so. But at the moment, I don't have, a way of using it at the moment. But that's going to be okay. I have been using that camera for over 5 years now. And it's one of my favorite cameras, the PXW X70. Unfortunately, it's not you cannot buy it anymore, or maybe secondhand. But it's a really good professional camera. That was the old setup. Let me remove a few. Now let's talk about the new setup. And the new setup is, of course, based on PTZ cameras, believe it or not. And so last Saturday, the day before, I actually was in the church. And I made this quick video right here from the altar. And here you can see the camera. So we have one right there. So this is a big camera right there. That we have a second one right there, the white one. And then we go all the way to the other side of the main hall. You still see the old setup right there. And there you see a third one and a fourth one. So we had 4 PTZ cameras all pointing to the altar. Well, 3 of them are pointing to the altar. The most left one, that's also the highest one, is actually for different altars, because we have 2 altars at this church. But this is basically what the deacon or the pastor can see from the church service. And I really, really like the setup. I also like the placement, even though at the first I was like, the line of sight is not that great, because we want to have pictures like really in front of the deacon, which is what we typically did. But it did come with a cost. That, of course, the two locations up front of the church were all, I was standing there, people behind me could not really see it, so it was not a maintainable, sustainable solution. Everybody was really happy that we were there, but of course it's time to move on. By the way, you see the four PTZ optics cameras. One was gray due to the fact that it was on a brownish pistol, and the other ones were also all white, so that they are not really, in mind's eye, they're not that obvious, and they're actually quite well. I really like the setup, and we will talk about the technical setup in just a bit. Empty says Tech on the Warehouse, not Warehouse 13, I guess. That's a good TV show, by the way. I love that. I love that show. Rol says, cool. I presume it's about the camera setup. Indeed, those are PTZ optics cameras, the Gen 2s. I believe they're at 20 times zoom. I cannot see that from that distance, but they look quite familiar to me. I do have well, not today, unfortunately, but that will change. I have typically in the studio 2 PTZ cameras by PTZ Optics. Even though on location work, I always use Burdock. But I still have those old PTZ cameras. I love them for their simplicity, and they're great for my studio. Eric says permanent installs for the win and positioned ideally. Yeah, indeed, definitely. MT says it looks like so. I guess 20 times zoom would be enough for that distance. Absolutely, you can go quite precisely with that setup. Now, what does it look like behind the closed doors, right? Because let's show you a little bit the setup from this perspective. So, like I said, the church decided on asking for a system integrator that was that's really much oriented towards building video and audio installations for church services. And unfortunately, it's Dutch, but here you go. It's a sheep sound, if we would say that in Dutch, or in English, or in Danglish. But let's go to the church version of it. And for churches, they have a multitude of different possibilities. Unfortunately, all in Dutch. Sorry for that. But it's about the church TV, which is the center one. And this is what it looks like. So you have a church service on an iPad if you'd like. However, that's not what they have decided upon. What they did decide upon is, of course, these are the PTZ cameras that they also use in our church. So these are definitely PTZ optics cameras in white and in gray. Perfect fit. But this is roughly what they have. So this is we don't have a stream deck at our church, but we do have, of course, the ATEM screen. There is an ATEM as part of it. But what they also had, and is that they have this screen which is a touch screen. So you can actually just click on a item on the screen so that the PTZ camera will do whatever you like. So this is basically what it looks like in a different place. So they also have, for example, here you see a amount of presets that you can define. You have the possibility to fade between the preview and the whatever is live. You can also switch on the camera that you like, and you have this virtual joystick so that you can pan and tilt and zoom whatever you like. That's all there for you to work with, and that is the integrator that they have chosen for. And of course, I made a video on what it looks like at the church. So I'm going to do that before I'm going to show. I'm going to talk to you for the comments. So let's go ahead, and this is in the back end of the. So this is not in the church itself. It's right next to the church. So this is not a public area, but this is basically where we can switch the show moving forward. So the Constellation the Constellation 1ME is the switcher of choice as an ATEM switcher, as you can see on the left hand side, and on the right hand side you see this manual encoder. So this is a manual encoder that streams to a special service. It's a service for if you are interested in a church service and you want to re-see it, or you want to use it and check it out about 3-4 months later, you can use this encoder will stream it directly to that service. And this is also part of their solution, as you can see, it's velcroed to this Terranex rack, as you can see right here. Now moving on, one more thing is that you see that red button right there and the green button. Not sure which one, but one of the two allows you to record on the USB directly, which is fantastic. Now, all of this is not available to normal volunteers, but this is the ATEM screen, and this is the Easy Service Direct. And as you can see, it has the possibility to use it as a joystick, and just change the position of a PTZ. You can zoom in and zoom out. It's all touch based, and these are all presets that you just can click, and then it will do something for you. But I have a better video on that, and so I'm gonna not stick around with this video for now. But that at least you can see it's based on an ATEM switcher. It's based on the 1ME Constellation HD, which is enough, I would state, for what we do. But there are some catches, and we're going to talk about that at the later stage. Let me see. The Kabel Studio says, Schaap sounds nice. It's a customer of us. Well, there you go. Cool. There you go. So they did an excellent job indeed with the installation. One more thing. Yeah, indeed. So yeah, so I'm going to show you what it looks like if you produce the whole show. So what I've done is that I spent the whole Saturday morning, last Saturday, to put in presets that I would see as logical. Of course, it's always different than you're standing with two cameras that you're in full control of, and you can do whatever you like. But the intent of this is that it must be very easy. It must be something that somebody can learn very quickly without the need of knowing what a DSK is, without the need of knowing what a PTZ camera is, without knowing that if a camera is live, it will that you don't want to change it, that kind of stuff. You want to make it as easy as possible, and this product that they've done is actually performing that extremely well, and it's all based on a very small computer that you don't see now, unfortunately. But below that, let me stop. Below that, you see a very small black box in the center of the two screens, and that is a small Dell computer, a microcomputer, and this is running the right-hand side of this of the setup. So on the left-hand side, you see the output of the ATEM switcher. On the right-hand side, it's the Easy Service Direct software by, I believe, Schaap Sound. So I think that they've made it themselves, and that software has 3 modes. The advanced mode, that's the one that I've used, of course, while creating the presets. Then they have a normal mode that allows you to use presets and to use the joystick and pan and focus. But we now decided to go the easy route, so literally easy, and that's solely the ability to just press a preset. That's all they can do at the moment. So I've just purposely removed the possibility of the joystick, purposely removed the zoom and focus, just because if I would do that now, it would be totally blown away, and it would be quite a challenge. Of course, the advanced is behind a password, so that's also, we are lucky that we can do that. So that's a little bit of a context. So that's the reason why I just showed you the real setup, where you could see that there was a joystick, where you could see that you could do more options. But this, what you can see right now, is exactly how we're going to start this Sunday. Looking at this, so this is basically the starting point of everything, and here you see that we just switched to the altar view, and now I'm pressing that one right there. You see that the PTZ is going that route, and 5 seconds later it will automatically show the new setup. That blue flashing, by the way, was because they were working on an LED spot for something that they wanted to show. So this was a, well, coincidence, nothing more, nothing less. Now, if you want to go to another view, then of course this is the view that we had. Then I want to go to the eagle, and like 5 seconds later you can see it. So it's always 5 seconds later, whatever you do. So now I'm going to go to the Oregon. You can see the organ. Wow, that looks cool. We can listen to whoever is playing. And now I want to go to, oh, you can see that's all red. So camera 1 is red. Then I'm going to go to the altar with a mid shot. And then if I would go to a other shot, which is closer of the people that are singing, well, I can do that. And once I'm done, I think that I'm now, okay, I want to show something else. A close-up of, for example, the deacon talking or praying. I can show that as well. And then once I'm done with that, I can, of course, also go somewhere else. Let me see if I have something else that I wanted to do. Forgot about it. Yeah, we're gonna go to the back of the church, as you can see right here. And again, back to the altar, going back to the altar 5 seconds later. So as you can see, it's extremely easy, and now we're done. It says, see you next Sunday, and boom, we're done. That's all there is, which is very impressively easy how to do that. I was blown away by it. Again, for me, there's no fun anymore in this, because it's literally just click, then go to click, then go to click, then go to click. There's no fun in that, but it does work. Now, what doesn't work? There are still things that are not working with that software. So, for example, Alpha Key, like for example, what we had the vMix computer where we could, have like a low third with the account number. We cannot do it there. Not at that particular instance. I am considering to install Companion on that small computer, the Dell Optiplex, I think it's called. On that computer, Companion, and then a very small Stream Deck, so that I can actually put on a DSK. On the ATEM, but I don't want to go that route yet. I want to make it as easy as possible, and we can in the studio, at the station, we can do the alpha overlays at the moment. So we are dividing that load at the moment, but we would, arguably you want to have it right there because you want to have the whole service. Now that being said, that services of that equipment, those 4 cameras and the ATEM switcher and all shebang, of course we're going to use that for our TV station on the Sunday service, but it's also meant for example, funerals and for other additional services that they could have that they also want to stream or record. So it's not only for the TV station. It's also for the church itself. So it makes a lot of sense for them to do that. And I'm very pleased, very, very pleased that this coming Saturday, I will be introducing this new setup to 4 people. So we have a group of 4 people that will be doing that. And 2 of them are from the church and 2 of them are from the local TV station. So that means that if all is well, and I'm thinking that all is well, then as of May, I can really step back and not perform those church services no longer. Of course, still being available for coordination and maybe some troubleshooting, and maybe also extending on the new on the setup because there's still room for improvement. But looking at the ease of those switches, personally, I would like to cut a cut instead of a mix, but this was standard. I'm really pleased. The only thing that is still missing, though, is the connection with the studio, with the studio of the station, and that's where the device comes into play that I actually ordered yesterday, and it will be arriving tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. Because I want to have a fantastic picture of that ATEM, and not getting that stream from a website. That's exactly what they wanted us to do. They wanted us to go to that special church website and then just capture that website and then put it on TV. No, we're not gonna do that. Way too error prone. Also, we already had it occasionally that it will pop up a status bar. We just don't want to do that. So I looked at what I wanted to do. I wanted again to make it as simple as possible. Actually, I want to set it and forget it. So I decided on a SRT connection, and I wanted to do this one right here. So this is a SDI to NDI wired encoder, but I'm not going to use it for NDI purposes. I am going to use it for SRT purposes because it does allow for a plethora of different protocols. One of them is SRT, and it's all about the SRT in my book, because with SRT I will be able to make sure that I have a very good quality signal, point to point. It will always be there once the ATEM switcher is switched on. It will be there in the studio without any interference, which is fantastic. I will love that. I will have that every single day. So that is the way that we want to do it. And we're actually also considering to use the same box also for the Civic Center, for the theater, and for other parts here that are important locations, important public locations here in the city where I live. So that we have that direct connection, and we are not always depending on live view, because even though live view is excellent, very good, it is more expensive. So let me see what we have here. Eric says nice console and a VRAC. Yep, it was very nice. They actually also have 3 handheld mics by Shure, which was really good, perfectly connected. I did needed to change the delay a little bit in the ATEM switcher because that was not set correctly. So I did that last Saturday. So now it's perfect. And looking forward to this coming Sunday. The Cable Studio says pretty cool and easy. Yep, especially the easy part is really important. MT says very user-friendly, great layout, and the volunteers get a feel of switching in no time. Yes, exactly, and that's exactly what is also the reason why I've chosen again to cut down on complexity. Every time I have something like, oh, I can add this, but then there might be a dependency on me, I decided not to do it. I wanted to remove all the dependencies of myself so that they can start to do this. And once that is done, then of course I can jump in and make it better. But then at least the thing that they need to learn is way less. So that's the way that I wanted to do that. Eric says, looks like there's a little media pool at the bottom of the open close. Yes, correct. So indeed they have a media pool, but the media pool is only you can only switch to that media pool. So unlike in the ATEM software where you can make it transparent and put it in the DSK, you cannot do that on the software part. The easy software part, you cannot do that. SRT sounds good to me and a great choice. Yes. So my thoughts are that we will have a show on the SRT side of things next Saturday. So this coming Saturday, I want to. I hope. Let me just say it differently. I hope that I either have still access to the SRT connection and I can show you around, but in all aspects, I will be recording it and making sure that everything is fine, because I really want to show you how it works, because I also need to learn it anyway. So I want you to see how I will connect to it. I hope that everything will be fine. We have a backup plan for this coming Sunday, so if by any chance we cannot get it done, I have a backup plan so that we still can do everything that we want. But then it will mean that I need to bring along my laptop still. But that's okay. It's totally fine. So this coming Saturday, definitely going to talk about the SRT. Or alternatively, we can talk about the Burdock Play, which I have right in front of me. So we can definitely also talk about this little product right here. And why I think it's a very nice product to have more of a discussion on, because it has more value to me as I expected up front. But there's also a third option, and that's that we can talk about the NAB, because it might be that there's a lot of news coming this coming Saturday. I'm not sure if that will happen though, but you tell me what you'd like most to talk about. Do you want me to talk next week about the SRT setup? And then we're not going to do a review on the SRT unit itself. It's really what is an SRT, how you can connect to it, how you can configure it on your vMix computer, for example, and on that device. And the second option is to use the Burdock Play, and how you can use it, for example, with another piece of equipment called a video wall. So that might be interesting to have a look at as well. That might be something that we can do. And the third one would be a NAB roundup to talk about what is new in the video realm, what we as geeks or producers like the most. So one of the three we can do. So please let me know in the comments what you'd like me to talk about, because it's all free. We can do whatever you like. If by any chance you think about something else, I can also record a little bit of the SRT, and I might need to, due to the fact that we of course need to build it in as quickly as possible. So it might be that I need to pre-record a few things about the SRT connection, but I will make sure that you have a good view on what it looks like, and also what the web interface looks like. Let me know what you think. Are you going to run SRT in future through fiber or mobile network? For fiber, I don't know yet. Mobile network, definitely. But fiber, I don't know yet. For fiber, I would go for NDI. I'm not sure. So NDI is better for local networking, and SRT is more for bridging the gap. And a combination of the two is perfect. That's also why you will see that, for example, Burdock doing that in their cloud service. Roel says, cool, I have one and I'm not using it. You will be using it after I talk about it. The Kabel SRT, the technical side would be nice. Okay. And the video wall sounds interesting. Okay, yeah. Well, regardless of the fact, I will talk about each and everybody of each of the topics the coming weeks. I also have a vMix replay episodes coming soon. Not sure when, but it's also coming soon, and looking forward to that as well. So, oh wait, MT says. Also, SRT sounds very interesting. At the moment, I haven't used for it. Okay, makes sense, of course. Well, at the moment, for me, it's easier to talk about the SRT, because then I can wrap up the church service thing for myself as well. So that's my preference, but that's only my preference. So please go ahead, and it seems to be SRT. Thanks, Eric. It's going to be the SRT one. Okay, so the SRT component is on its way. It will be arriving tomorrow or the day after tomorrow. So I think that I will have a show. And indeed, smash the like button. Don't forget that, really important. And thank you so much, Raoul, for mentioning that. Also, if you'd like to be more being active in the community is the most important one. If you want to support the show, that's also possible via super chats, for example. And if you have more dedicated information that you want to talk about that is really aimed towards your studio, there's always a possibility to let me see where I am, to get personal help via my Calendly website, so that you can there choose for a 30-minute consult, a 60-minute consult, or even a 120-minute consult. So that's really going very much in depth. So one of the three will be doing very nice. And yeah, I'm looking forward to do that if you really want that. So that is up to you. But those are the ways that you can support the show. All of the money, also the Calendly one, will go to this show to make it more awesome. Cool, SRT it is. Okay, welcome. So that's I hope. Oh, by the way, before I really leave, one more thing. You might have noticed that if I cannot make the show on Saturday, I have a backup plan on Tuesday. So I'm doing that purposely on Tuesday so that you guys can see Aaron Parecki on Sunday and John Barker on Monday, and Tuesday I believe nobody is live. So that's the reason why I'm live today. I will have to see, because might in the future be more often that I have something on Saturday. But for now, moving and looking at the horizon of 2-3 months, I think it's going to be still on a Saturday regardless. So I hope to see you next week. No. I have to see you this Saturday already, because this coming Saturday we will be talking about SRT, and I'm really, really looking forward to it. Thank you so much for watching on this Tuesday. Have a good one. Bye-bye.